This is Diplomatic Ties on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. In this edition, we will take a look at the evolution of the League of African Ambassadors, LA for short. The League of African Ambassadors was established following a webinar organized by the Conference of Ambassadors and High Commissioners of Nigeria in August 2022. The League is a legal entity with the support and cooperation of AU ECOSOC headquarters in Lusaka, Zambia. The membership of the League is open to all serving or retired African ambassadors, high commissioners, and also those who have completed their tours of duty. Under the League, it is the very first time that African ambassadors have come together as one to lend a voice on matters concerning the continent. The formation of the League is a remarkable display of unity and purpose by the African diplomatic representatives. Now, to speak more on the League of African Ambassadors are two distinguished personalities among those spearheading the course. His Excellency Nwanne Omini Eze, the immediate past High Commissioner of Nigeria to the Republic of Zambia and the founding president of the League of African Ambassadors, and His Excellency retired Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, former Chief of Army Staff and the immediate past Nigerian Ambassador to the Republic of Benin and member of the Board of Trustees, West Africa League of African Ambassadors. Your Excellencies, you're welcome to Diplomatic Ties. I'm Nancy Godianganihu. The program continues shortly. What is the intendment of the formation of League of African Ambassadors? What gave rise to this organization? Your Excellency, Ambassador Omini.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, viewers. Like in your intro, I think you've even had captured most of the things. However, it's important to answer your question of what gives rise to the formation of the League of African Ambassadors. As a matter of fact, in the A, you see agitations for Africanization. That's Africans coming together, different professionals are coming together, we're talking of African unity. So what informed this is that there is a need for those who are minding the international front now at their diplomatic missions to come together and have a common voice as Africans. So both those who have served and those who are serving, are now involved in this unity. So it is to unify African diplomacy and to have a common front once it comes to international scene. And of course, to promote trade and investment. The primary duty of our ambassador is to promote trade of his various countries. But at this point now, when we unite our force, we have to get better deals.
Tell us, Nigerians and citizens on the continent of Africa, the vision and mission of the League. I still want you to continue.
Among them is to promote our unity. Another is to promote our economy. Another is to promote our cultural heritage. Others is also to have to see to peace and unity of Africa.
You had a summit in 2024 on unity and collaboration. This is the one unity you are promoting. Tell us about it. How is the League promoting regional, continental, and global cooperation and unity to put the African continent on a world stage? Your Excellency, Buratai.
Well, thank you, Nancy. Once again, it's my honor and privilege to be here to discuss the League of African Ambassadors. This summit essentially, was convened to articulate the way forward for the League, and we know the importance of unity of Africa. The African countries need to really, enhance, their present relations. And the League of African Ambassadors has seen the importance of establishing such organization as a pressure group and also a support group whereby they will promote the foreign policies of the African countries. You know, it's quite fundamental. You know, in this era, you know, especially with communication, that is social media, you know, how fast communication, you know, information spreads is fundamental, you know, to have that support, you know, to continue to strengthen, you know, these relations. The gathering in itself, you know, it further raises another platform for the African countries, ambassadors, especially at the diplomatic level, to see how they will continue to support, not necessarily when you are in, you know, in office as an ambassador representing your country, but even if you leave office, you are also having a voice to present and ensure that this the objectives set, you know, by the African Union in this case, and now we are collaborating also with the African Union and all other regional organizations in order, you know, to give them that support, to give them that additional voice to ensure that Africa is projected, Africa, you know, strives towards the economic development, towards the trade and investment, as well as the integration of the African countries as a whole. So it's a summit that has, you know, put in place a platform that will continue to support the foreign policies of the African countries, and also to support some programs of the African Union in various fields. Is it security? Is it development? Or is it trade and investment, especially in this period where, you know, the Africa Free Continental Trade Agreement, that is we see it as a catalyst, you know, towards further cementing the relationship of these African countries. So it's yes, quite fundamental.
Yeah, Your Excellency, you mentioned that you don't want to waste the skills and experiences of former diplomats.
That's right.
You want them to plow their experiences and give to some other, you know, other ones. And again, you said you're leveraging webinar to do this. Now, Your Excellency, Omini, Nwanne Omini, cultural diplomacy is a catalyst for unity. How is the League going about using cultural diplomacy to advance the cause of Africans?
You see, like you mentioned, culture is a very strong instrument in diplomacy. And in this regard, we have different cultures. Like in the League, that's why we make sure that the offices are spread. That in the League, you have the northern, like the deputy president is from Egypt, the secretary general is from Southern Africa, Zimbabwe, the vice president trade investment is from Kenya, the vice president security matter is from Zambia, the vice president government matter is from DRC. Then when we come to down the ladder, we also make sure that if you're in your zone, your region, if one office is in this particular cultural tendencies, that the next will go to others.
Your Excellency, Buratai, as a security expert, you've seen the security situation on the African continent. Is it impacting on what you're doing, and how can it be solved?
All right, thank you very much. Let me just add also one of the challenges the President, you know, answered. You know, foreign interference is a major challenge also. Not only of recent, but even in the when you look at it in the past, historically, they have interfered into our government, topple, connive and topple heads of states and governments in the past, very unfortunately. And of recent, you can see the threat to Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. So foreign interference on the African continent is a big challenge. It's a very big challenge. And the earlier they know this and we counter it or they leave us, I think it's better for us, for us to move to chart our own course and move forward. And look at how Libya, was destroyed. Gaddafi was killed. Essentially, look at what is happening in Sudan today. They have so much interfered into our internal affairs in terms of destabilizing the country and bringing so much insecurity. So it's a big challenge, and we hope with our advocacy in this context, the League of African Ambassadors will voice out, and we hope appropriate action will be taken. Now, coming back to your question, very, very, very fundamental question. You see, when I will take it historically, in historical perspective.
Briefly, though.
It's very briefly, very fundamental. The period during Jonathan, he started a wonderful diplomatic move that gave rise to the multinational joint task force. Several meetings were held between 2014 and early 2015, where African, ministers of foreign affairs, minister of defense met and brought about the new multinational joint task force in order to fight the insecurity. And several meetings were held in Abuja, in other parts in Chad, in Cameroon, and Niger, to bring about this MNJTF that has been fighting. And by the time President Buhari came in 2015 May, he also continued diplomatic move. So diplomacy is quite fundamental in countering the insecurity we have presently, not in Nigeria in particular and all other places. We must continue with this diplomatic move. Unfortunately, as of today, our diplomats are not yet in post, and if they are in place, I'm sure so many things can be remedied. Now, fast forward to this period, what is happening? Niger is out of ECOWAS, Burkina Faso, Mali, they are out of ECOWAS, and the implication, they are also moving out of the multinational joint task force, or they have even moved out from what their activity is limited. The same thing with Chad is hampering, and that is the cause of the resurgence of the Boko Haram, especially in the northeast, because those borders are porous right now. So you continue to blame the armed forces or the military of this, but fundamentally you have that key issue that has been abandoned or neglected for now. So the MNJTF is a more fundamental force, that is helping